black, too strong.
Well, we have a special guest. You all have heard enough from me. We have a very special guest. Y'all might know him from Lethal Weapon. You might know him from Last Black Man in San Francisco. An incredible actor. Somebody that I look up to a great deal. Somebody who is very hard to keep up with on the campaign trail. I want y'all to put your hands together for somebody who's been fighting for us for generations, for decades, right? Somebody who didn't just appear in movies, but he has stood with workers in Mississippi. He's come here a number of times, who's stood with workers across the world. So put your hands together for a star of stage and screen, Brother Danny Glover.
And thank you, Phil, man. You can see with my attire that I've been around the church all morning, I've been to 5 churches this morning, spoke at 5 churches, spent time with Mayor Lumumba, and had a great time just talking about Bernie Sanders and the importance of this campaign, for all the discussions and all the things we need to talk about. You know, I'm sorry, I missed the round table and the discussion that you had. Oh, okay, get right in there? Yeah. All right then. See, I should know this stuff, shouldn't I? but yeah, man, it's you know, we can play a significant role in this conversation, because that's happening with every single thing that's important to us. We know that what's happening with with mass incarceration in the city of Jackson, in the state of Mississippi, you know, and some of us in this room have been victimized by that as well. And I just had, it feels incredible to be able to have a candidate where you can go to and say, look here, this is what I'm talking about. This is what we want to put on your table. This is what we want to put in front of you. And this is the discussion that we need to have. And that discussion is not only mandatory, not only necessary, but mandatory. And that's what I feel about Bernie Sanders in a sense. And when I think about all the kind of issues that have confronted us, for the first time we can go to someone and we know that we have access to them in that discussion. And in terms of what do we mean by community building? You know, we've been around, and a lot of us have been around so long, and we know the narrative, we know the stories. We either are victims of the stories, or we've been engaged and have other family members who we know are victims of the story, of the narrative. So what is this narrative about and talking about? And building something, a movement, and that's what it is. It's a movement. Just like there were movements right here in Jackson, Mississippi in 1964, where young people came down and began to kind of shape another narrative and have a different conversation about how we end segregation, and how we get people the right to vote. How we not only by get a right to vote and fight for the right to vote, but also have freedom schools, you know, and freedom summit. All those kind of discussions that certainly have been an essential part of what we about and how we've been able to challenge the system itself. And so when I think about this, and I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to be a part of the further conversation, because a great deal of my life, even though it's one life that most people see, in one sense, that none of the stuff that escaped and that was a part of your community, it did not escape my community. You understand what I'm saying? It did not escape my family. It did not escape any way else. Because I got nephews, I got brothers who spend time in federal penitentiary, spend time in state penitentiary and all of them. So I know that story. I have a mama that every time she had to figure out what Sunday, who she was going to visit in jail. Was she going to go up to drive up to 2 hours from there? Was she was going to go down to the peninsula in California? all those are part of the same story. I'm fortunate that my brothers fought through all of that. All three of my brothers fought through all that. Mass incarceration, fought through crack cocaine, all of that stuff like that. I'm fortunate that they fell through that, and they turned out to be who they are in a different sense. But in the way that we have to deal with this, handling this now, is a different way in which we have to reform this system. We have to transform, not reform, and transform the system from the bottom up. That's what it has to do. And I believe this campaign is about transformation. Everything, and every single thing. So if I go to visit somebody, I have my friends I've been to 8 prisons that I visited in California. 8 prisons. I have friends that are involved deep in that. And when I go there now, even now, in the midst of this campaign, I get a chance to talk with them and talk with them about the possibilities of what can happen with Bernie Sanders as elected as the president of the United States of America. So those are kind of things that I feel so strong about it. Because we're not going to deal with it until we take care of what needs to be taken care of. As James Baldwin said, we cannot tell the truth about who we are in our past, we become trapped in it. That's the problem with this country. It can't tell the truth about its past. It can't tell of all the systems, as Michelle Alexander, all the systems of control. Mass incarceration is just another system of control. That's what it has been, and that's what it's intended to be in Cincinnati. It was intentionally designed in such a way. Because we know history. Once there were no jobs, once there was no cotton pick, where did we move? What happens when there was no more cotton? Then they pushed us into the cities. And once we got in the cities, there were no jobs in the city. So the kind of construct that's set up in this country, that country has to come to grips with that and understand that. And just find out how we, in that sense, were placed in the position that we are, in the historic position that we're in. That we've been fighting with. And we fight it. You know, and some of us who've been able to kind of get through the cracks, find their way through the cracks, whatever God's will, been able to find our way through the cracks. Be here in Jackson, Mississippi. I came to Jackson, Mississippi, went to at the Lanier High School in 20 years ago, when Bob Moses had the algebra project in Lanier High School. I was a part of that 20 years ago. I came here with Nissan workers 8 years ago when they were trying to get a union in the plant here at Nissan. And so, in the sense that I'm back in Mississippi, right here in Jackson, Mississippi, because something always happened here. Always somewhere that we could be on right at the crux of what is going on and tell our story and get the changes that we necessarily need and important that we need to have as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody said thank you. They saved me from keeping it up. Thank you so much. Thank you, man.
Too black, too strong, too strong, too strong.